You may have been waiting for this one. What about artificial sweeteners? That is like the question that I get sometimes asked the most of people who are asking me about quitting sugar. So I want to give you the skinny on artificial sweeteners. If you're quitting sweeteners, ditch. If you're quitting sugar, ditch the sweeteners. If you are watching this for the first time, welcome to the 30 days, 30 tips, how to quit sugar challenge. My name is Sippy Livne. I'm a registered nurse and certified food addiction counselor. And really, I'm going to tell you the main reasons why I recommend to my clients to completely quit all artificial sweeteners when they're quitting sugar. The reason is when they're doing a sugar detox for sure. Now, I want to start with the fact that if somebody's going to come to me and say, look, Sippy, I'm going to drink a Coke, that's going to happen. The question is, what's less bad? Coke with sugar or Coke with artificial sweetener? I'll say go for the Diet Coke, okay? But it's not good. Artificial sweeteners are not this like innocent thing. They are a hyper-processed product that is ingested into the body. I can't even call it real food. It is something that has been invented in the laboratory of a food of a food factory. It is not real food. It is not the things that God and Mother Nature intended us to eat. The thing is, though, I do say they are less bad than sugar, but they are still bad. First of all, just that intense sweet flavor, when it hits the brain thinks it's sugar. So it's addictive. Eating or drinking things with artificial sweeteners makes us crave sweet. It also the intense stimulation that it does to the taste buds means that your taste buds aren't able to actually recognize or enjoy or feel, right? The receptors on your taste buds don't really feel the sweetness of natural foods because it isn't that intense sweetness of the artificial sweeteners, just like the sugars. So if you really want to quit sugar and you want to start enjoying real food and you want like a cherry tomato to taste so sweet, it's not going to happen if you're still drinking or eating stuff with artificial sweeteners. The other thing is, let's face it, what has artificial sweeteners in it? Hyper-processed foods and drinks. So we're talking about eating real food and drinking real drinks. It's not, and using like real things, natural products, whole natural products to eat. So this is definitely something that I recommend against. Another thing is that for a very long time, maybe the research wasn't quite so, was a bit iffy. It wasn't really so clear cut how artificial sweeteners damage the body long term. And I know that there are many of you who are totally against and what have you, who will say better to eat sugar than to eat these artificial sweeteners. I am not of the camp. I side with Dr. Lustig, who I've heard him say, this is terrible. This is really bad, but this is more terrible than this is bad. So this is not a good thing, but there is long-term damage that has been proven recently in a very amazing research that was done actually by Israeli researchers in the Weizmann Institute, and Dr. Segal is one of the lead of them, where they showed that saccharin, aspartame, and there was one more. Saccharin, aspartame, and I don't remember the third one. You can look it up in Nature. It was published there, that it shows that these sweeteners do affect the microbiome, those trillions of bacteria that live in your gut. That is like this whole universe that's not you, but it is in you. And it is so essential for the proper working of the body, especially on a metabolic level. It seems that these trillions of bacteria are very important, not just for digestion or gut health, but also for metabolic health. And it seems that these sweeteners, even though some of them like just come out the exact same way they go in, they affect the microbiome such that it does negatively affect that very sensitive and amazing balance between blood sugar and insulin levels. So people who are diabetic, people who have metabolic health problems, and certainly people who are looking to eat healthy, right, metabolically healthy and quit sugar, definitely artificial sweeteners should be on that list of things that you are quitting. That's my take for today. So, what about you? How do you feel about artificial sweeteners? There is one exception that I do sometimes will recommend very limited use of artificial sweeteners. That is, I once heard in one of the 12-step meetings that I went to for for compulsive overeating. I do go to 12-step meetings, and they said like sort of artificial sweeteners is like the methadone of like drug addicts. Sometimes it is a good idea to use artificial sweeteners very temporarily and in a very limited setting as a crutch to wean off the sugar. I sometimes recommend this really for very severely addicted clients who are very severely addicted to sugar. In the initial detox, I will sometimes do that so that they won't break, like just to help them through that initial detox period, which people who are severely addicted to sugar, that can be a kind of difficult. And usually I recommend to people then to do it with some professional counseling. So that's my take on artificial sweeteners. Tell me what you think about them here in the comments below. And if you want all these amazing tips, all 30 of them, just wrapped up in a nice little bow, free of charge, sign up to my newsletter, because anybody on my newsletter at the end of this challenge is going to get the full package completely free. So have a great day, wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow for our next tip.